Man Hour Nation, it's time to get shocked. Good afternoon, Man Hour Nation. Every morning, every night, we start with a daily rant. And my daily rant is going to be not NFL related. It's not going to be life related. It's not going to be I want to go marry my mom related either. It is going to be Alabama versus Deion Sanders versus Texas A&M. Nick Saban says, hey, we don't buy our players. A&M buys all their players. Jackson State was so happy they got $1 million man from a Division I school, right? And then people started coming out, people saying, hey, Nick Saban, you are out of your league. You've been buying players for years, yada, yada, yada. Guys, let's just be flat out honest about this. Do we care? Do we care about this at all? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Every team in a roundabout way buys their players. How do you say? Recruiting, visits, meals, clothing, iPads, book bags, free schooling. They're buying their players one way or the other. Whether it's not directly with money, but it's directly with school, it's directly with getting them to the next level. It is directly enhancing their lives for the better. That is why Alabama is hands down one of the best college football teams to go to right now. Think about this. Every year they get 12, 13 players drafted in the NFL. What other team is doing that in America? Absolutely nobody. Texas A&M, Jackson State, you guys are all just jealous in the end. Let's just be flat out honest about it. So Deion Sanders, for you to be saying we need to hire more qualified young men to run these colleges when they're making money, all this, shut up. Shut up. I ranted about that yesterday. Shut up. Nick Saban, who cares if Texas A&M is buying their players? They're still going to be bottom of the barrel of the SEC. What have they done since they went to the SEC? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Alabama, you are still the cream of the crop. You can say what you want. You don't got to buy your players or like whatever. You cannot be physically giving your players cash, but at the end of the day, you are giving them more money than any other school out there. Let's just be flat out honest about it. The facilities are better. The clothing's better. The iPads are better. The backpacks are better. The travel to and from games are better. The atmosphere is better. Nick Saban, you are a little bit out of your league here trying to justify people not paying for whatever, right? In the end, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Stop it. What is up with all this bantering anyways? Moving on, boys. Moving on. But Man Hour intro? Man Hour Nation. Cue that intro.
I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori. Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We cross the topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beaters through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you're listening to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Cause you listen to the Man Hour.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the new and improved blog section. Check out the merchandise page as well. We got the Man Hour tumblers just dropping over there. The black ones are live there with the new logo. It holds 2 beers. So 2 beers in this beautiful tumbler. Keep it away from your wife because you never know what you're drinking in like in there. So put 2 beers in there. She'll never know. I may or may not got 2 beers in there tonight. So let's just call a spade at the end of the day. But guys, we got a pretty good show for you. I'm flying solo again tonight. Wyatt is back here in Indiana visiting family and friends. He was actually supposed to come in here tonight and do a live show with me, but his mama made some plans for him. So Wyatt, enjoy family time, man. You don't get that much time when you're in college, unfortunately, but he'll be back next Tuesday. We are transitioning back to the morning show live, so I will be here solo at 8 o'clock each night for about 30 to 45 minutes again next week. So I see my man Alpha Rob in the chat. What's up, Alpha Rob? I hope you're having a grand night, man. I hope you are proud about your Buffalo Bills. I picked them to win the division and, make a playoff win or two. So we'll see how they do. But tonight, guys, we're going to jump over to the NFC side of things, staying on the East Coast. So we're going to break down the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Washington Commanders, and, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of things have changed in that division. Amari Cooper is no longer in that division. Carson Wentz is back in the division, not with the Eagles, but with the Commanders. So we are going to possibly see a mix-up. Why is my bell going off? We're possibly going to be seeing a mix-up here in the NFC East. You never know. There has never been a repeat winner in the, last 10 years, 11 years. So by de facto, the Cowboys are out, right? We will see. So I do have a poll going over here at youtube.com/man of who will win the NFC East. It's pretty cut and dry. So far, the Cowboys are winning the vote there. So, guys, this is the last show of the week. And last show of the week, I like to keep it lighthearted and whatnot. And I like to go to the comment section. And I like to read you guys the comments that we get. I have not replied to them so far today, so there's about 20 or 30. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to basically read the comments, and we're going to basically live react to them here for the next couple minutes before we do break down the AFs or the NFC East, I should say. So the very first comment right there is from a day ago. It is on our video of Carson Wentz as a top 10 quarterback. Juan Harrison says, "Love your unbiased reporting. Great job." Apparently, my man Juan, you are new here to Man Hour. Apparently, you don't understand that we have no ties to not be biased one way or the other, my man. If I tell you that I don't have to sugarcoat anything here, bro. Like, this is my show. I'm the boss. I can do what I want. So if I'm going to be biased, 100% I am. But with that being said, I am not an Eagles fan, I am not a Colts fan, and I am not a Commanders fan. So if I'm saying Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback when I'm not any of those fans, how am I being biased? I'm asking for a friend. So guys, let me ask you guys in the chat, am I biased one way or the other? Like, I'm just kind of curious of if you guys think I'm biased. I mean, if I am, I am. I don't really give a fuck. Let's just be flat honest. Like, I like the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, I'm gonna be a little biased, I guess, right? I mean, we're all biased in the end. We all want our teams to do well. Alpha Rob is saying Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league, even though he is. But Combs can say he is top 5, and Alpha can be like, no, Josh Allen is because he's biased toward his team. So I'm not on ESPN. I can be biased, Mr. Juan Harrison. So thank you for the comment, though, man. I really appreciate it. Slim Reaper, I love that name, Slim Reaper. This is the video of Saquon Barkley will be the best running back in 2022, which that was completely clickbait title, by the way. We have him at not even top 5. But Slim Reaper says, with the new coaching staff, boosted O-line, Saquon will finish in top 3 in fantasy and will win comeback player of the year. So I do like your optimism there. I like your biased thoughts there, right? So Mr. Slim Reaper, but unfortunately, fantasy points don't matter in real life. You can be the top fantasy getter in all of the NFL, but that doesn't mean you're doing great. Like, your team's not doing great. For example, who was the Lamar Jackson would consistently get 30 to 40 points in the fantasy league? I drafted him in my fantasy league. Do I like Lamar Jackson as a player? Absolutely not. Is he a good quarterback? Absolutely not. Does he get a lot of points in fantasy? Absolutely. So fantasy and real life football do not correlate into one-on-one, unfortunately, my man. So as I do think he will probably win comeback player of the year, because if you think about it, who else really is there? To be honest with you, like, no player legitimately comes to mind that could possibly win comeback player of the year besides him. Like, unless there was like a third string tailback that happens to be on the Dallas Cowboys, and Zeke and Pollard both get hurt and they feed him the ball, right? And but think about it realistically. I don't think there's anybody besides Saquon that got hurt last season. Meaning you really can't put Odell in there because it was the last game of the season. So Odell could win back comeback player of the year, not this year, but next year, possibly. But yeah, I don't know. Alpha Rob says, tell him, Buck, don't take crap on your own show. Facts, baby. Facts. Next one here. Bro forgot Jonathan Taylor. He's the best running back yet. That's that same video. Yeah, so I totally forgot about, I'm not even going to lie to you there, Victor Garcia. You are 100% correct, man. I totally forgot about Jonathan Taylor, and I forgot about freaking Mac, right? What's his first name? Mac, running back for the Colts. Colts. They're both top running backs in the league. Oh, Mac could win comeback player of the year, right? He got injured last year. What did he tear? I can't remember. Anyways, moving on to the comments here. Nicholas Sheffy. It was this Illinois or Arizona Cardinals draft grade. I did see these comments when they first rolled in, and I didn't want to react to him because I wanted to regurgitate what he said, and I believe this is the one where they told Wyatt to go eat a bag of chips or something like that. I can't remember, but let me read it here. So Nicholas Sheffy says, we filled pretty much every need in the draft, and there's still free agency as well. Picking up Brown was somewhat good trade, not worth the first, but what's done is done. Okay, but obviously you didn't bring up that which you dropped the ball on as well. I'm not for sure about that. Okay, so he says we did not bring up the Hollywood Brown trade. Yes, we did. That was actually one, because I believe Wyatt gave you guys like a C grade, and he gave you a C plus because of the Hollywood Brown trade, Nicholas. So I'm not for sure what you were trying there. And then number one says, and then he says, but obviously you didn't bring that up. You dropped the ball on that as well. And if you're trying to say that it was a bad decision to trade him, Arizona clearly knew about Hopkins' suspension no matter what. We had to get a wideout. We wouldn't be able to get rid of what? More. Read more. Man, this guy wrote forever. Who writes that much? I'm kidding. But it's not loading. So, Nicholas, we definitely talked about the wow, that guy wrote a lot. And we didn't have any fourth or fifth round picks, so we wouldn't have draft capital. So basically, he is justifying the pick for the Hollywood Brown getting that first round pick. I mean, Hollywood Brown is not a great receiver. I mean, yes, I understand what you're saying there, Nicholas, that the fact that you didn't have any fourth or fifth round picks to give to the Ravens for Hollywood Brown, but they probably wouldn't have taken that. I mean, let's just be honest, because Hollywood Brown was their number one receiver. But I mean, pretty much your comment is just a full of bag of chips there. Like, honestly, it's just a full of air, and with a little bit of context, just in there. So, good luck with that. And then he goes on and says, your take is just ridiculous. You obviously don't do your research. Dude, Wyatt does the most research I've been. I make the rundown of the show, and then, I pick and choose facts that I want to use in the show. I prepare for, maybe half hour, 45 minutes. Like, I ain't going to lie. Most of my stuff that I have is in my head and in my heart, and I speak the way I feel. Wyatt has 4 pages of notes that he did for each team there, and Wyatt definitely did his research, and he 6 drafts. So for you to say Wyatt didn't do his research, you're absolutely crazy about that. I won't call you dumb, but you're definitely crazy. And then moving on, we aren't going to read the rest of that. I really don't want to read fucking 17 paragraphs, man. I like the 3 statement comments. Those are the best. MKT Bongo is the same Arizona Cardinals draft grade. So first things first, guys. Last season when the Arizona Cardinals were 11-0, and I said this team is starting to like show the cracks on their team, and they're falling apart, and they're not going to do very good, and they're going to be a first round loss. I was exactly spot on. I gained a lot of haters on like on those clips, and those Cardinals fans come back all the time, and they want to dog me all the time. So MK Bongo was one of those big like, oh, you're absolutely wrong, yada yada yada, and like he says, wow, that was a horrible take. You should really start digging deeper into the team's draft instead of digging into a bag of chips. Wow. For a starter, Trey McBride was the number 1 tight end coming out of this draft. So that is not a fact. That is a complete opinion. All these players, top player coming out of the draft, those are all completely opinions. Like even when a team drafts their guy first doesn't mean he is the best player in that draft, right? So just because the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett, the number 1 quarterback, off of the board does not mean he is the best quarterback in that class, right? It fits their system the best. It was them on their board, and they had to choose it. They had a choice to make, and they chose that guy. So to say that Trey McBride was the number 1 tight end coming out of this draft, that is 100% opinion that you're trying to translate into fact. And then he said, second, Max Williams is coming back from a season-ending injury and signed a 1-year deal. So why not get the best blocking and receiving tight end now that can replace Max? So that is a good point. I did not know Max Williams had a season-ending injury last season. I didn't know that because I don't follow the Arizona Cardinals because they're complete trash. But we digress from that. You guys still have Ertz. Ertz is a very solid tight end. Max is a valuable backup, and then you drafted a guy. It was a complete waste of pick. Wyatt was spot on that. So, and then my man Jameson jumped over here in the comments. Jameson always brings some good news, Mr. Action Jackson himself. This is Jimmy G will be traded by the first of the year. I believe this was a question from 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. But Jackson says, or Jameson says that Jimmy Garoppolo is injury prone and has already been said that Lance is a starting QB. And once Jimmy is healthy, they can move him up and they can move him up to $25 million worth of free cap space. So I didn't. Did you guys hear that Trey Lance has been named the starter? I have not. I have not heard that Trey Lance has been named starting quarterback. But I guess it would make sense. I mean, you moved up in the draft. You drafted him first overall. This is Jimmy G's last season. Put the guy in there, watch him fail, and then put Jimmy G in relief. But it'd be dumb. When Jimmy G is healthy, Jimmy G takes you guys to the NFC Championship game. I'm just saying that. And then Jameson also said that he's a passing touchdown as well. So that is for Trey Lance has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in the season. Congratulations. Then he comes back and says Jimmy is glass. Man, he was just commenting all over that video. He always gets hurt and then holds the team back. So that is a comment that we did. So let me highlight that comment here. Get my mouse over there. He always gets hurt and holds the team back. So I will not deny the fact that he does get hurt. Jimmy G for the 49ers seems to be on the bench, injured more than he has been a starter. But I was looking at it. He has only missed 10 games as a starter, and most of those games were in 2020 when the whole team was injured. When Jimmy G is in there, how does he hold the team back? He go to the NFC Championship game. He's won an NFC Championship game with no help. I don't know. Then the last comment that we're going to address here, this is a Dylan Peterson. He is one of those Cardinals guys as well that was dogging my Cardinals pick last year as well. And this was my top 5 most overrated quarterbacks list going into the 2020 or 2022 season. And Dylan Patterson says, you got to look up the facts, bro. So much wrong and missed info in this video, especially with Kyler's situation. A lot of what you said there is wrong, like very, very far off. So I was wrong about Kyler Murray not wanting to play on a 5th-year extent, or on the 4+1 year deal. He wanted a long-term contract, but the Cardinals are not willing to offer. Was I wrong about that? Was I wrong about Kyler Murray not being an NFL quarterback on any other team? Probably not. Was I wrong about Kyler Murray not being able to stay healthy and really, elevate his team? No. How many playoff games has Kyler Murray won? 0. 4 years, 0. How many Super Bowls has Kyler Murray won? 0. How many division championships has Kyler Murray won in his 4 years at Arizona Cardinals? 0. So for you guys to be putting him in this MVP category situation year in, year out, never succeeds, is right, always sprains his ankle toward the end of the season and falls off. He definitely is overrated. So when I say a person is overrated, I'm not saying that they are the worst quarterback in the league. When I say somebody is overrated, you look at their generalized expectations. You look at the fans' expectations. Kyler Murray, Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson, Super Bowl MVP, right? Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl MVP. Well, guess what? They all 3 can't win MVPs. They all 3 can't win Super Bowls. They all have these expectations way up here, but they're only going to live up to right here. Therefore, you have, 20% of growth there, and they're going to be overrated. That's how I determine my overrated state there. My 5 overrated quarterbacks, if I remember correctly, were Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and the 5th one was, I cannot remember off the top of my head. I don't have my notes in front of me at all. But these are quarterbacks that their expectations are up here, sky high, and they're only going to get to the floor, right? It's just, that puts you into overrated status. Alpha Rob says, I don't get the Trey Lance thing. Why do people want him to start when what has he proven? So, Alpha Rob, let me play devil's advocate a little bit here. When let's say you are dating a girl, you've been together for 3 years off and on, right? So sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off, and you never know what you're going to be like the next week, right? So you're always kind of walking on eggshells, never wanting to say the wrong thing, right? Then, this pretty young little thing comes strolling into your life. You guys start working, you guys work together, right? You start flirting, you start getting that, work relationship, and she touches your leg, and you guys get that look, right? And you're like, man, I don't know if me and my girlfriend are going to be on this week or off next week. So maybe I want to try something over here. Maybe this will be on more than off. Maybe this will, catapult me into putting a ring on it, right? So, but, over here, when things are good, things are good. When things are bad, they are bad. Here, we don't know. So I can see the reasoning why 49er fans want Trey Lance to play, because we did spend a lot of money getting this person a job. We did spend a lot of money to kind of put her on the sideline, right? She's costing me a lot of money too over here, but it hasn't gotten me to that stage yet. When I'm happy. When we're going out to eat, things are good, things are clicking. But when we get home and she goes to bed, we're fighting and nagging and yada, yada, yada. Pretty prize, pretty average. I know what the ceiling is and I know what the floor is. I don't know anything. Average pussy, could be some bomb ass pussy, could be the most ranked pussy ever. I get it. But on the flip side, I'm invested in both. She has a 1-year contract, a 1-year expiration date before that cancer butthole kills her, and I at least have four years like her. What do I do? I mean, like, I see both sides of it, but on this hand, when things are good, things are good. They get me to the Super Bowl. They win me a championship. But when they're bad, they give me a 5th overall pick. This one, I don't know. Could get me a 5th overall pick. Could give me a championship. Could make me 8-8. I don't know. Rob says, maybe when I get the new girl, but she can't do what the other guy can do. Yeah. Bomb-ass pussy. Maybe rank-ass pussy. Who knows? Bomb-ass booty hole. Loose booty hole. She wears the butt plug that has a little light that flashes like when you walk. She's never had any butt action. Right? You never know. You never know. I'm so dumb.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, guys. So that is the first page of the comments. I try to comment to all the comments like every day, just to keep people interacting and like engaged. And I try to get the conversation scrolling over like over there. But man, Nicholas, this dude wrote a 7-page essay, man. Like, I'm gonna have to get my reading glasses out and get the bifocals on. And then descript what he's trying to say with all the dots and stuff like that. But hey, I definitely like the comments, guys. Keep them going. Moving forward, the last show of the week, we'll jump into the YouTube comments and start breaking down those comments, starting to talk shit, yada yada yada, whatever, man. Like, it is what it is, right? With that being said, guys, we're up against the first break here. On the other side of the break, NFC East breakdown. Dallas Cowboys, DC for life. Fly Eagles, fly. Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, go Commanders. What is your hashtag? Command something. I don't know what the hell they say. And then New York Giants, together blue, baby. We'll see how they do. Will the Cowboys repeat this year in the division? Does the Super Bowl come from this division? Does the Super Bowl and does NFC Super Bowl championship go through NFC East? Who knows? All that much more, guys, coming up here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back.
Once I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from the wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas to see the NFL draft? Well, now you can. Simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, click on that join button, become a $5.99 member or higher, and you get free entry. Simple as that. So head over to youtube.com/manhour and hit that join button. You won't regret it. You're watching Man Hour.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper from TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. That means we give the people what they want. Expert fantasy advice, leading medical and legal analysis, free contests, and innovative games to keep you entertained. Watch us live with the Tiki Live app on the Belly Up Sports channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, or follow us on all social media platforms. Visit TSSFantasy.com today for all the latest updates from the fantasy show of the people. We put the fun in fantasy.
Yeah! I use mayo over sour cream, yeah.
Right. That's because you have high cholesterol. Okay. If you drafted Julio Jones,
you got ghosted.
This is amazing. TSS Fantasy is like an orgasm. If I had a cigarette, I'd smoke it. I'm pumped to be here. This is the show of shows.
TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat me.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckasha here, flying solo tonight. You can find me on the old Twitter machine at manhour_buck. That's where we get all of our factor crafts, way or no way, burning questions, all that good stuff. If you tweet at me on the old on Facebook, I'll add you as a friend. I mean, I don't have anything to hide. I mean, F it, right? Or you can also like Man Hour on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/Man-Hour Sports. Also follow Man-Hour_sports on the old Twitter machine and IG, all that good stuff. So like I say, guys, we're getting ready to break down the NFC East. All four teams over there. We do have a poll going over there. Who is going to win the NFC East? And right now, at 67%, the Philadelphia Eagles have taken a commanding lead. Cowboys at 33%, and Commanders and Giants at 0%. My man Trent Mason says Joey B talked on the podcast that the Ravens chirped the most on the field. Cannot wait. I'm not for sure what you mean by that. Joey B talked on a podcast that the Ravens chirped the most on the field. Yeah, mean. Oh, so Joey Bosa? Joe Burrow? Who's Joey B? Trent, light me, my man. Who is Joey B? Anyways, Trent, you are a Ravens guy. So we are breaking down the Ravens Monday. That'll be exciting. Monday morning, Ravens? 0-17? What? Who knows? Find out, man. Joey Burrow says the Ravens talk the most on the field. Yeah. Probably. They had that swag. They have that inner gangster in them. They're from Louisville. You know how Louisville people are. Anyways, make sure I got my clips all ready, because I don't like doing post-edit stuff. Post-edit sucks. That's why we are live and raw cut, because I just don't like editing stuff. So I can say piss and ass like all I want and not have to worry about it. That could be why we got kicked off the radio. So if you guys don't know, we used to be on Big X Sports Radio there for a long time. And we had a guest on, and he's like, "Can I cuss?" I'm like, "Sure, man, you can do whatever you want." He didn't even cuss at all. And they're like, "Oh, you have a FCA violation, yada yada. You have to pay us like $15,000 because you said a cuss word." Fuck, I did. We didn't say no damn cuss word. I guarantee you that. Now, if you want me to, I can throw some F-bombs. I can throw some MFers. I can say pussy juice. I mean, whatever, man. All right, guys. So, first team up from the NFC East are going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. They did, from what Wyatt said, they did pretty damn well in the draft. I don't know. I can't remember who they drafted off the top of my head, but they definitely filled some voids in that team this particular season. Week number 1, they start on the road at Detroit Lions. You guys know that I have been on this Detroit bandwagon for quite some time. And last year I kind of jumped off of it. I'm like, I hope you guys go 0-17. You guys, they won like 4 games in 2 years, and whatever. Detroit Lions beat the Philadelphia Eagles week 1, unfortunately. Minnesota Vikings, another NFC North team coming to town to take on the Philadelphia Eagles Monday night. That should be a grand game. Eagles win that game. Next game, Commanders on the road. Lose to the Commanders. Week 4, this is the game that I have circled. This is the game that could literally make or break their season. Jacksonville Jaguars coming to town. Now, I do have the Jaguars winning this game, but if the Philadelphia Eagles look like complete dog crap in this game, they could easily drop the 5 or 6 of their next games, because after the Jaguars, they travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cowboys come into town. They have a bye week. Steelers come into town. Then they travel to Houston, and then the Commanders come into town. If they look bad against the Jacksonville Jaguars week 4, this could be a very, very long season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Matter of fact, if they lose by more than 20 points versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, they may not win another game for the rest of the season. Jalen Hurts might get benched. Who's their backup quarterback over there? I can't even think of their backup quarterback right now. Like, it could be a very, very long season for Philadelphia Eagles, but I think this is a close game. It is going to be a 10-13 game. Jacksonville Jaguars in, catapulting them into week 5 matchup when they travel to Arizona and they beat down the Cardinals. I'm talking like bending over, spank your butt, you've been a bad boy. They do beat the Arizona Cardinals in week 5. Week 6, the Cowboys come into town, and the Cowboys win that game. The Cowboys are a team on a mission this year, unfortunately. Sorry, Eagles fans, you guys take that L big time. Going into an early bye week in week 7, coming off the bye week 8, they have Pittsburgh Steelers coming into town. Pittsburgh Steelers is a very unknown team. For one, we don't know if they're going to be starting a rookie quarterback, a quarterback that has half a head, or a quarterback that has been on 3 teams in three years. We don't know. Gardner Minshew is the backup for the Eagles. So yeah, I hope they put Gardner Minshew in. God, I might hate Gardner Minshew more than I hate Lamar Jackson. Let's just be honest. But week 8, they do beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 9, they travel to Houston. They beat the Houston Texans. Oh, crap. This is a Thursday night game. You guys know how I feel about Thursday night games, and the stats don't lie. The road team, if you guys are unfamiliar with this, the road team on Thursday nights, when they change time zones, have a losing percentage of over 700. So they win less than 25% of the time if they're the road team on Thursday and they change time zones. Fun fact, Philadelphia is in East Coast. Houston's in Central on Thursday night. But I do think the Eagles do pull that off. Then they play a Monday night game versus the Commanders at home. They win that game. Week 11, another very pivotal game for the Eagles. They play the Colts. They travel to Indianapolis. Colts win that game. Week 12, they're at home taking on the Green Bay Packers. Packers win that game. The Packers could be playing with their third string quarterback, and I still think they're going to beat the Eagles. The Packers just have a really good team, a really good defense, and with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, unfortunately, it's kind of dangerous. Week 14, they're on the road taking on the New York Giants. I had the Giants winning that game. Week 15, they take on Chicago's Bears. I do have the Bears winning this game because they're coming off a bye week. The Bears have not lost a game after the bye week in five years. So, yes, I know they got a new GM, new coach, new quarterback, all that stuff. But, history doesn't lie. Week 16, they travel to Dallas. They lose to the Cowboys. Week 17 and 18, they take on the Saints and Giants, both at home, both wins. So, wrapping it up, I do have the Eagles finishing 8-9 on the season, 6-3 at home. Very, very good home record, 2-6 on the road, and they are 2-4 in the division. If the Philadelphia Eagles can go 4-2 in the division, flip that schedule around, and be 10-7, they will be a playoff team in the NFC. But right now, I have them going 8-9, and unfortunately, they are there, but they're not there, right? Does that make sense? They're going to be a really good below 500 team. They're just going to be right there. But I don't think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback yet. Like, I don't think he is the guy. Now, Gardner Minshew could be the guy. He did well in Jacksonville. I mean, I get it. I get why the Jacksonville Jaguars wanted Gardner Minshew out of town. He has that polarific leadership, the it factor. He's just not the guy. But either way, I do have the Eagles going 8-9 on the season, 2-4 in the division. If they can sweep the Eagles, split with the Cowboys, I mean, right. There's your 4-2. Could be a playoff team. So it's definitely going to come down to the division games for the Philadelphia Eagles. Next up here are going to be that's right, I said it, the Dallas Cowboys. Week 1, they open up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again, but this time they're in Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium. It doesn't matter. Buccaneers still win that game. The Bucs are going to be good first couple weeks of the season before Tom Brady falls off. Week 2, they're at home again. The Bengals come into town. I had the Bengals winning this game. The Bengals are still a good team. I do think Joe Burrow will be overrated this season, because people have him as a Super Bowl MVP. I don't think they're going to quite live up to that level. I feel last season was kind of a fluke. They still might make the playoffs when we break down the AFC North on Monday. We will find that out, but I do have them beating the Dallas Cowboys, starting 0-2 on the season, going into week number 3, Monday night game versus the New York Giants. Loss. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys started the season 0-3. Time to panic in Cowboy land? No, not at all, baby. Week 4, Commanders come into town. That is a dub. Week 5, they travel to L.A. That is a dub. They beat the Rams. They beat them bad. I'm talking probably 20, 25 points. They lay it to the L.A. Rams. Week 6, we already have them beating the Eagles. Week 7, this is a good game. The Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys. I like this matchup. The Detroit Lions are coming off a bye. The Dallas Cowboys are coming off 3 wins in a row after starting the season 0-3. They're 3-3 going into the Week 7 game. Give me the Detroit Lions. Am I slowly jumping on this Detroit Lions bandwagon again? I don't know. Week 8, they welcome another NFC foe, NFC North foe, Chicago Bears into town. The Cowboys beat the Bears. Then week 10, week 9 is the bye week. Week 10, Cowboys versus Packers. Wyatt gave me a fun fact that they played the last 5 years. They have split every time. So Cowboys won, Packers win. Cowboys win, Packers win. So by science, this is the Dallas Cowboys year 2 win. This is Mike McCarthy's first time back at Lambeau Field. Cowboys are coming off a bye week. The Packers, they've coming off a brutal schedule. Give me the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys step up week 10 and knock off the Green Bay Packers. Week 11, they're still in the North, taking on the NFC North Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings win that game. Jefferson and Locke and the boys are just too much for that Cowboys defense. Hot take, Trayvon Diggs gets burned deep at least 5 times in that game. He might have an interception or 2, but he gets burned deep 5 times, giving up 4 touchdowns in that game. Week 12, the Giants come to town. That is a win. That's that is a Thanksgiving Day game. Week 13, the Colts come to town. That is a dub. Week 14, Houston. That is a dub. Week 15, they travel to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Every team this year has a trap game. Week 16, the Cowboys are at home taking on the Eagles. Week 17, they're on the road taking on the Titans. Week 18, they're on the road taking on the Commanders. They are going to be 100% overlooking the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are going to be looking past and trying to end the last season 3-0, try to get that playoff berth, trying to get hot. Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Dallas Cowboys week 15. Week 16, I do have the Cowboys beating the Eagles. That is a Saturday game. Then they play Thursday. Dallas Cowboys are traveling to Nashville, Tennessee to take on the Titans on a Thursday night game, the last Thursday night game of the season, if I'm not mistaken. As you guys know, when teams switch time zones and they're the visitor, they lose 75% of the time. But Nashville's Central Time Zone, baby. Dallas is Central Time Zone. Is King Henry going to be hurt? Is Ryan Tannehill going to be the quarterback? No, no, and no. It doesn't matter. The Cowboys win. The Cowboys give the ball to Tony Pollard and Zeke a lot in that game, and they eat. They eat that game. And Week 18, they upset the Commanders because the Commanders are just treading water at that point. Giving me a record of 11-6 on the year, 5-1 on the division, 6-3 at home, 5-3 on the road. Very, very good season for the Dallas Cowboys. 11-6 might get them first seed in the NFC playoffs. The Cowboys are a team that they need a home playoff win. They need to get that monkey off of their back, and this year has to be that make or break year. Because I feel like even if you make it to the playoffs and you don't win a playoff game at home, this team literally might blow up. They're going to get rid of Zeke. They're going to get rid of Dak. They might even trade off Michael Gallup. The Cowboys have to win a playoff game or two even this year. If they don't win at all, Mike McCarthy is definitely out. Dak is probably out depending on how he plays. Zeke is definitely out. You can't afford that overpriced running back that isn't getting the ball, right? So this is a very, very big year for the Dallas Cowboys. Almost a make or break year per se. So Trent says Tony Pollard would outperform Zeke tremendously this season. And Trent, I believe it was Tuesday we talked about this. Maybe Wednesday. I can't remember for sure. But I do agree with you that Tony Pollard right now is a better running back than Zeke. I will give you that. I like what Tony Pollard brings to the team. I like what Tony Pollard does. He's a definitely north and south guy. He's very, very humble. Doesn't have that ego like Zeke does. But when you are paying Zeke $100 million, 3 or 4 years left on his contract, Tony Pollard is still on his rookie deal. You do not want Tony Pollard to explode yet. When I say explode, I'm talking like 1,500 yards, 300 touches, yada, yada, yada. You want to wait until his 4th year there. Give him a nice extension, 3-4 year extension for, $30-40 million. All this time you're running Zeke into the ground. You're running that $100 million spoiled baby brat into the ground. You are making him earn every cent over the next 3 or 4 years for Zeke. You are literally riding him so hard and you putting him away wet. You want to run Zeke into the ground, trade him off, get a 2nd-round pick for him, a 1st-round pick possibly, just like what they did to DeMarco Murray when he went to the Eagles. Then Tony Pollard is your guy. You draft a backup running back in the draft, that 1-2 punch again. Do rinse, cycle, repeat. So I do like Tony Pollard right now better as a running back for Zeke. But if the Cowboys are smart, you run Zeke into the ground over and over and over again. Let Tony Pollard get those nice 1, 2, 15 touches every 2 weeks, right? Keep him fresh. Because this will be his 3rd year. Next year, maybe work out some type of contract extension, get him on the down low. Then the man explodes. And I would be a great GM in the NFL. I'm totally kidding. I would let my fandom definitely take over it. All right, guys. So moving on to the 3rd team here in the NFC East, not necessarily finishing 3rd place, because I do like the New York Giants this season. I think Danny Dimes has a lot to prove this season. I like what they did in the draft. Saquon Barkley is back healthy. Mr. King Quad himself, he has a quad the size of my freaking upper chest, right? I mean, he is a man on a mission. But week number 1, we have King Henry versus Saquon. Giants travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Give me the Titans in week 1. Week 2, the Panthers coming to town. This is another running back matchup. CMC versus Saquon. Give me the Giants. Then I had the Giants winning the Monday night game versus the Cowboys. Chicago comes to New York, comes into the Meadowlands. Week 4, give me the Giants. Wow. To start the season, the Giants are 3-1 with wins over the Panthers, Cowboys, and Bears. Not a bad way to start the season, but week 5 and beyond gets a little shaky. Week 5, they travel to Green Bay. That is a loss. Green Bay Packers do not lose at home early in the season very often. Not going to happen. Week 6. This is a game that I have a toss-up. Baltimore Ravens travel to New York. Lamar Jackson versus Danny Dimes. Two quarterbacks that have a lot to prove this season. Is Lamar Jackson a bust? Was that MVP year just a fluke? Can he perform without Hollywood Brown? Daniel Jones has to perform. He wants to get that long-term deal. Wants to get them be the next paid quarterback, right? With that being said, man, can I pick a tie in this game? 3-3. This is going to be the shortest football game ever. The Ravens are going to run 45 times, pass for 5. The New York Giants are going to run for 40 times and pass for 10. This game starts at 1, could be over by 2:30. But give me the Ravens in this game. I don't trust the Giants that much enough to be able to contain Lamar Jackson. Week number 7, they travel to Jacksonville. Still hot. Sea level. Go from cold to warm. Do I have too much faith in the Jaguars and Chris and Kurt? I don't know. Give me 7. Alpha Rob says the ball don't run the ball. The ball don't run the ball more than 7 times. It's because he hasn't had a running back like Saquon. Singletary is meh. Kidding. Week 9 is bye week. Week 10, Houston Texans are coming into town to take on the New York Giants. Give me the Giants. Week 11, Detroit Lions come into the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. Man, the Giants have a lot of early season home games. Give me the Lions week 11. Week 12, they travel to the Cowboys. I had the Cowboys winning that game. Week 13, the Commanders come into town. I don't know what the Commanders are going to be. The Commanders are probably the most wild card team out there because my man Torrey Anderson had them going with 13-4 last season. Obviously, they did not do that because they lost Fitzpatrick with like the second play of the game. I do like freaking what's his name, Heineke, right? Obviously, they picked up Carson Wentz, but they're coming off a bye week. So if they're going to make a quarterback change to kind of figure out the year, that'll be it. Give me Washington in that Week 15 matchup. Week 16, they're taking on the Vikings on a Saturday game. Give me the Vikings. Week 17, Colts travel to New York. Give me the Colts. And obviously, Week 18, I had the Eagles winning that game. Week 13, I didn't pick. I picked the Commanders, didn't I? Oh, guys, let me rant about this a little bit. This is the dumbest thing ever in the NFL. So you literally have 18 weeks to fill 17 games. You have 6 games that are in there. But for whatever reason, every year, every time there's this back-to-back game, Washington versus New York, and then they play the Eagles, and then they play Washington like again. So they literally play this same team twice in 3 weeks. Absolutely dumb. You have 18 weeks to figure that out. Give me the Giants week 13, and then I'll take the Commanders week 15. Giving the New York Football Giants a record of 6-11, 3-3 in the division. This team is on the cusp of being good. They will never be great. I don't think Danny Dimes is that quarterback, but I am curious to see what their coaching does. Can the coaching bring back that Giant swagger? As my man Alpha Rob says, he does not run the ball more than 7 times and like in a game. Unfortunately for Giants, he's going to have to. He has to. He has to. You have to use Saquon. I'm just calling a spade a spade. But had them finishing 6-11 on the season. So moving on to the final team here, the team that is going to be the most wild card of them all. Is Carson Wentz going to lead the Washington Commanders to the promised land? Or is it going to be, Tyler Heineke? It's going to be a pretty good quarterback battle. I like Tyler Heineke a lot. Carson Wentz has a lot to prove. Carson Wentz could be a man on the mission coming into the season. However, it's Carson Wentz. But Washington Commanders have one of the top defenses in the league. They have one of the best wide receiver cores out there. They have a solid running game. So I do anticipate them winning a lot of games, starting with week 1 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. They beat the Jaguars. They beat them bad. Week 2, they travel to Detroit. Give me the Washington Commanders in week 2. Detroit is there, just not against the Washington Commanders. Week 3, we have them beating the Eagles. Week 4, we have them losing to the Cowboys. Week 5, the true test to see how good or how bad they actually are. Tennessee Titans coming to town. Give me the Commanders. I don't have any faith in the Titans this year whatsoever, and that is my fandom talking in me because I'm scared to play them in the playoffs. Let's just be honest. But the Commanders beat the Titans at home. Week 6, the Commanders travel to Soldier Field on Thursday night football. Did you guys hear what I said about Thursday night football? When you switch time zones, the visiting team has a losing percentage of 75%. Give me the Chicago Bears. Week number 7, the Green Bay Packers come into town. I think the Green Bay Packers lay this egg. I think they come into DC and they're just not awake. They don't wake up to like the third or fourth quarter, and it's just one of those snoozer games where you look up and it's 6-0 into the fourth quarter, and then finally boom in the fourth quarter, like shit starts to happen. But I think the Washington Commanders hold them off. It's going to be 17-16 game. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very entertaining. But that takes us to week 8. Carson Wentz versus his old team travels to Indy to take on Matt Ryan and the Colts. Give me the Colts. I like the Colts this season. I like them a lot. Week 9, give me the Vikings over the Commanders. I think the Vikings are going to be sneaky good. Week 10, obviously we had the Eagles on Monday night taking on the Commanders. The Eagles win that Monday night game at home. Takes us to a Week 11 matchup versus the Houston Texans at Houston. Davis Mills is good. I like Davis Mills. Give me Davis Mills over the Commanders, giving us a Week 12 matchup. Carson Wentz taking on, is it going to be Desmond Ridder? Either way, it'll be the Falcons. Falcons are bad. Give me the Commanders. Week 13, we had them losing to the Giants. Going to Week 14 bye week, and then coming back and playing the Giants again. They beat the Giants that week because they are coming off the bye week. I like it. Week 16, we already broke this down. We had the 49ers beating them on a Saturday game. Week 17, the Cleveland Browns come into town. Wow. I wish I would have broke down the Cleveland Browns first because I don't know where they're going to be at this point. Are they going to be resting starters? Is Deshaun Watson even going to be playing? Is Baker Mayfield on this team causing all types of chaos? Is Jacoby Brissett the leader? Give me the Browns. Week 17. Week 18, we also had the Cowboys beating the Commanders, giving the Commanders a 7-10 record to finish out the season, 2-4 on the division. This is a team that I could be 100% wrong on, and I would not be surprised one bit. This team this team has such a high ceiling and such a low floor. They could go 2-15, not surprise me one bit. They can go 15-2, not surprise me one bit. If you guys want to bet on a wild card, the Washington Commanders are it, because you don't know what Carson Wentz is going to bring to this team, and if he does well, plays that MVP caliber like he did with the Philadelphia Eagles, the sky is the limit. Super Bowl, right? But if he plays like he did against for the Colts that last week versus the Jaguars, two wins. So I'm shooting right in the middle, have them going 7-10 on the season, and definitely not making the playoffs. So just to recap there, I do have the Cowboys winning the NFC East this season at 11-6, the first repeat in many years. I think 10 years. The Eagles come in at number 2 at 8-9. The Commanders at 7-10, and the Giants at 6-11. The East has been much improved over the last few years, guys. So the East is no longer the least. So yeah, with that being said, guys, let me know who you guys think is going to win the division in the comments here. Per the polling, the Eagles are going to win it. 67% of you say that the Eagles are going to win the division. So only time will tell. But guys, that is it for tonight. I am up against that hour. We'll be back Monday morning and also Monday night. Monday morning, we'll be breaking down the AFC North, recapping it Monday night. So yeah,